I'm finding personally when I'm talking to other urban fantasy authors, some of like urban fantasy doesn't really encompass now really what everybody's doing, if that makes sense. So I think you're going to start to see, you know, romantasy a little bit,
Yeah.
and those kind of things like cozy fantasy form in urban fantasy. So I'm just curious, like, do you find that with your own stories? Like, do you feel like you
Oh
completely
yeah.
fit if you say urban fantasy? Okay.
Yeah, it's such a broad category. Like right now I'm writing something that's, I guess you could call it like urban romantasy because
See, that's what I'm curious. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's got a lot more romantic elements in it than my Lisa Cooper series with my the stuff I have out right now. So I'm leaning a little heavier into it, which is fun because, um, like I said, I've read a couple of romance books, and now I'm kind of like charged up, like, oh, I want to write some of this kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff without kind of going all the way over, um,
yeah.
but certainly wading in deeper than I had before. So
Yeah.
it's been really fun.
That's cool. I'm just curious because we always talk about all these other genres and the subgenres, but every time my friend mentioned this, he goes, "You never talk about the like what people could call their subgenre." He's like, "I know you, Dan, but like," he's like, "I want to know what other people are doing." So I think that's really interesting. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we will see that personally in the next 10 years, right? If you'll see, because my friend Logan D. Irons, he also has his legacy of wolves and stuff. In his Bridget King's novella starts kind of it off, and like he's got these werewolves in ancient times, right? And it's so interesting, I think, to really think about that. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that's historical urban fantasy, right? But him
Right.
and I are the only two that really I know who have done that. Other people talk about it, but
I've
yeah.
done
Awesome. Yeah. We're
it.
gonna start our own
Yeah.
subgenre. I cannot
Yeah.
wait. Yeah.
I have historical urban fantasy. I have, I guess, dark urban fantasy. Sometimes it delves into
Yeah.
like the spooky. Like I have
Yeah.
like I don't write horror, but because I write urban fantasy with vampires, I have a lot of like horror adjacent friends who are like,
Yeah.
"Hey, come to this book show. We're doing the horror fest." And I'm like, "But I don't write horror." And they're like, "Get over here."
Yeah. Nobody will notice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
which is fine by
But
me, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's super cool. I'm just curious because like the more I start thinking about it, the less you're the first urban fantasy author that I've interviewed in a while, guys. This looks like production wise, right? Like everybody's
Yeah.
back to back, or like a week, like two episodes apart or whatever. But really, it's been a while for me in pre-recorded chats. So I always like to ask just to kind of see where everybody else is at. So, but see, guys, I'm not the only one with historical urban fantasy vibes, right? So
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's super cool.
It's fun.
Or other, yeah, or other genres. That's super cool.
Cities have been around for thousands of years. You can always write urban fantasy.
Well, I said to somebody, I was like, a lot of these, because like I had some students that were doing research into certain stories, and we were discussing that. They're like, this just seems like urban fantasy, but in their time period, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh, that's really, I was like, man, that's actually really true. So it was
Yeah.
really funny. There, yeah. So I thought that was really interesting.
You could write an urban fantasy in Mesopotamia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.